Greek and Roman writers, here they come, they understood this to be who? Compared him with who?
Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Who's Jupiter's name in Greece?
Zeus.
Zeus.
Mm.
And they're usurping the Babylonian what?
Theology.
So if you Cushite Babylonians, you Africans had your own theology, and these people came in and they changed it to the devotion and worship of Bel. Now, what's Lucifer's other name is called Beelzebub.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
So
it is.
this
Lord of the
god
Flies.
Bel is who else? Okay,
Lucifer.
Lucifer's other
Yeah.
name is
Lucifer.
Beelzebub. So this god
Beelzebub.
Bel is who?
Lucifer, the
Lucifer.
devil.
Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Mhm.
See, I knew somebody was gonna get it. That was a
Beelzebub.
good
Mhm.
math. 1 + 1 had to be 2. This name Bel, I told you it's right here. Supreme male divinity of the Phoenicians, or
Canaanites.
Canaanite.
this God is a Canaanite.
Canaanite.
Then Jeremiah, that was right here. Then they say Nebu,
Isaiah
Isaiah
46,
46:1. Then they say Nebu, not to be confused with the melanated Nebi or Nebuah. This Nebu, prophet of who? Presided over learning and letters corresponding to the Greek Hermes, the Latin
Hermes.
Mercury, the Italians, the Romans, and the
Okay.
Egyptian Thoth. So when you see them talking about Nebu, this is a Canaanite who's culturally diffused as a Greek, as a Latin Roman, and as an Aegyptos to give us Hermes, Mercury, Thoth, all of who are Nebu. These are Canaanites that's taking Daniel and them. Now we're
Okay.
saying again, what would Jesus do? WWJD. It tells you here that these people were coming from the exile from Babylon with who?
Zerubbabel.
Say Zerubbabel.
Zerubbabel.
Say
Zerubbabel.
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 Say
Zerubbabel.
Beelzebub.
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 Say it backwards. Say Babel Zerub.
Beelzebub.
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 Okay.
Beelzebub.
Mhm.
That's them. And it says here in the books of Ezra that these people will be trying to claim the covenant. This is why the Messiah in Revelations 2:9 and 3:9 says, I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Jews and are not. They are the synagogue of Satan. He knew that these were Satan's seed. He knew that Genesis 3:15 said, I'll put enmity between you and the woman and between your seed and the woman's seed, talking to the devil that the devil would have children. And these are the people who in the books of Ezra are trying to come back in saying, oh, we're the ones coming from the bondage. We are the chosen seed. The same thing white people, Europeans from England and Scotland and Wales went to America and are now saying they're the real American and
That's
opening
right.
up casinos and saying we're Native American. The same thing
Yes.
Charlize Theron is saying she's a South African. The same thing is going to keep happening. You got Canaanites doing this. This is Zerubbabel or Babel-Zebub. Beelzebub. Say it again. See this part of it? See Bel. You see Bel?
Bel.
Yes.
Yes.
Now say
Yeah.
Bel-Zerub.
Beelzebub.
Bel-Zerub.
Beelzebub.
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 Mhm.
Beelzebub.
Do y'all see it now?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Beelzebub. That's them. All right, so they're in this land, stupid, and it goes down. I want to go down a little further for the sake of time. And what happens here? What happens? We're very clear. Jeremiah 48:1 does the same thing. What does Jeremiah 48:1 give us? Against Moab, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, woe unto Nebu. To the people, the Canaanites, to their God. Their God is a person. Gods are people. Gods are persons, places, and things that control other persons, places, and things. Y'all understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, back to Proverbs. Christ would not call himself Jesus. He wouldn't call himself Christ. He'd call himself Kodesh. He'd call himself Mashiach. He would call himself Messa. He would call himself Yeshua. A good name. Good. Sema. Name. Esma. Is good there?
No.
No.
So, Sem.
Okay.
Sem. A name of names. Rather, Osir. You see it there?
Yeah.
Osir. A name of names is more worthy to be chosen than great riches and loving favor rather than silver and gold. So why would he allow us to desecrate his name by saying Jesus? And don't tell me because it's to translate. Why you translate the Messiah's name and you translate God, but you keep Jerusalem and you keep Adam? Why we didn't translate Adam and call him Paul or Peter? And why didn't we translate Eve and call her Paulina? I mean, we're just translating names, right?
Yeah.
Why we didn't translate Daniel's name? Now, what happens to Daniel, if y'all are still with me?
We are with you.
His name got changed.
His name got changed by a who?
The eunuch, prince of the
By a
eunuch.
eunuch. Huh. And what happens when they changed his name? Daniel was given the name what?
Belshazzar.
Belshazzar. He was given the name Bel. So this tells you who's ruling, because the name is their name. Say Kunta Kinte, Toby, Kunta Kinte, Toby, Kunta Kinte, same thing. Daniel's like, my name Daniel, Deniel. They said, no, your name gonna be Belteshazzar. And this name Belteshazzar, telling you that this eunuch was a worshiper of Bel, who was a Canaanite god. Let you know this eunuch was a Canaanite. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
And they say this name, Belteshazzar, Bel, Lord, Baal, same name again. Persian, Assyrio-Babylonic. You see it? The Assyrians. This is not black people. Go to Syria today. You see white people. Don't confuse Syria today with Ashur. Ashur is in Babylon. Syria is in the area of Palestine, Israel. Two different. Y'all understand what I just said?
Yes.
All right. For those not sure, this is the land of Ashur on a map. Ashur is over here on the Tigris-Euphrates Valley. All right. This is Syria. Syria is over here on a map. Hold on. On a map of the Middle East. So we can understand these are two different places. This is Syria on a map. Notice you have Israel. Yes.
Yes.
Jordan, Lebanon, Syria. Two different places. The Canaanite Syrians, people of Syria today. You see what they look like?
Yes.
Very clear. Okay? Let's look at something so we get very clear. All right?
Yes.
Mediterranean looking stock. These are them. Now, what about the Africans of Syria? Indigenous. These are the indigenous Africans of Syria. Black people, black history in Syria, melanated people that have been living in Syria for thousands and thousands of years before the invaders. Are y'all still with me?
Yes.
All right, so Daniel is being given a name, and they put the name Zard in there, Sard, which means prince in the Zedic text of the Assyrio-Babylonic name. Y'all see it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Did Daniel embrace this new name?
No, sir.
Hell no.
Because he's like, that's not my name.
To another person named Hananiah, they called him Shadrach. To another person named Mishael, they called him Meshach. Did these three accept these names?
No.
No
sir.
more than you and I, when we begin to awaken, accept the name we used to be known by.
That's right.
So would Yeshua have let the Greeks do to him what Daniel didn't allow the Canaanite Babylonians to do to him?
No, sir.
He would not allow it.
He would not.
So why are we walking around calling him by a name that he would have never allowed nor answered to? No more than Daniel allowed an answer to it. Are y'all still with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're clear on what he would have called himself would never have called himself Jesus, would never have called himself Christ, would never have, he would have called himself Yeshua.
Yeshua. That's
Or
right.
Yahshua, or Yahoshua. He would have called himself Kadest. He would have called himself Messiah or Mashiach, but never Christ. I pray you wrote down the passages, and I pray y'all are still with me.
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
in the last two, part 1 and part 2 of this What Laws Did Jesus Follow series, we looked into this teaching, and we saw where the Christ said, I never knew you, Matthew 7:21 through 22, where he was very clear about who he was sent to, how to avoid the Samaritans according to Ezekiel 16:46. Today, I want us to move into some other things to bring about clarity. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
So let's start with what would the Messiah, what would the living Messiah, who they're falsely calling Jesus, WWJD, what would he eat? Why is that important? Well, because so many times I've heard people say, well, Jesus said it's not what goes into your mouth,
As long as you pray over it.
but what comes out of it. So if that's the case, it don't matter if you smoke weed and drink alcohol,
That's right.
because it don't matter what goes into your mouth. It's what comes out of it. So you can eat pork, you can drink, you can smoke. Doesn't matter. But according to John chapter 21, verse 9,
John 20.
we're going to find out what he ate. See, that Yeshua was meal specific. He followed certain laws that told him when. You know, when we say we are in the Totus Corestian, and this is the original books of the Bible, and this is the ancient African version, it tells us how to live.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
the Messiah, Yeshua
Yes, we
Kodesh,
do.
was living a way of life as a Nazarite, as a Corestian, as an ancient African Hebrew, as one of peace, as an ancient person. He was living a life of obedience to Scripture, because he didn't come to destroy the law nor the prophets, according to the books of Matthew 5:17. Well, according to those laws, the ancient people, we Tamareans, we ancient Nazarites, we had dietary laws that were meal specific,
Yes.
meaning what you ate for Passover was different from what you ate for Rosh Hashanah, was different from what you ate on the Day of Atonement, each of these meals, and I want us to look at it. So write these passages down if y'all don't mind. John 21:9.
John 21:9.
Matthews 15:11.
Matthews 15:11.
Genesis 9:3.
Genesis 9:3.
Exodus 12:8.
Exodus 12:8.
Luke 2:41.
Luke 2:41.
John 2:13.
John 2:13.
John 5:1.
John 5:1.
Matthews 26:17-30. And we're going to look at some of these, and then we'll see when somebody tries to make a switch and do a Fudley Dudley.
30.
All right, what's the first one y'all got?
John 21:9.
One verse.
John chapter 21.
Verse 9.
So we're WWJD, right?
Yes.
That's right.
John 21, verse 9.
Yes, Pastor.
Can somebody read for me, please?
Yes. As soon, John 21:9, as soon then as they were come to land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish laid thereon, and bread.
So Yeshua, this is after supposedly the crucifixion. His disciples are fishing. Something happens. Peter falls off the boat. Start drowning. Somebody like, yo, dude, you about to kill yourself. Don't do that. Right? And they come up on the land, and what do they find? Fire with some fish on a grill and some bread. So Yeshua's cooking.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's start there. He knew how to cook.
Okay.
He knew how to, because if you don't know how to make fish on the grill, oh my gosh, it's gonna stick, it's gonna fall apart. It's horrible. Because fish don't have no, it don't have no fat, don't have all that. You got to know how you roast fish. So he's not just a good cook, he's a really good cook.
Okay.
Mm.
And then he's making fresh bread outdoors. You know how good of a cook you got to be. I've been camping, Boy Scouts and other militaries, this, that, and the other thing. And to cook out, this man making fresh bread. He making croissants and no, it's just I want y'all to think about that for a minute.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he was a man's man.
That's right.
He was an outdoorsman because he knew how to cook where?
Outdoors.
Outdoors. Most people can't cook outdoors. You throw most people and say, all right, here's some whatever, make it, and you outside. They'll be looking at you like, what? Say, okay, you gotta make a fire. Make a fire. This man knew how to make a fire. There was no lighters back then. So he had to know how to make a fire.
Yes.
Huh? And he had to he laid it on coals. They put the word anthrakia. Anthrakia. And it says this word means fire, burning heap of coal. So he knew how to put the coals into a heap. He's a man's man.
Yes,
He's not no little dainty boy. He's a man. No, real talk.
That's right.
Because he's out there, his disciples are coming ashore, and he's making a meal. He started a fire on his own. He made some coals. He grilling fish. He making fresh bread. Then he said unto them,
Bring up the
fish.
Bring up the
which
fish.
you have now caught.
Why is he saying bring the fish you've now caught?
Didn't cook it too?
Because they were fish.
But why he wants to cook it?
Because there's more of them now.
Because he got, exactly, he wasn't making food for them. He was cooking enough for him. You making your boys roll up. I want y'all to, because we're trying, for you to know what the Messiah would do, you got to humanize him. You are here on your beach home, right? You Kahunanku, right? You're in Adelaide. You out there in your beach home, and you making you some fish, some lobster, fresh bread, and you look up and your boys are coming. You're like, oh, damn, I ain't making enough for everybody. But you notice they got some fish and some lobster. Yo, bring the fish and the lobster you got. Let's put it on the barbecue. Let's put it on the grill.
Okay.
Right.
Makes sense.
Now, a couple of things. Why he didn't multiply his fish and bread? We'll leave that alone. That's a whole nother day, different story. But right now, my mind. But he's saying, bring yours. So he's a man's man. He knows how to cook. He's an outdoors man. He knows how to make a fire. He knows how to grill outdoors. He knows how to bake outdoors. He's a man's man. We just finished the men's conference, reclaiming scriptural masculinity. So men need to know how to cook.
Yes.
Men need to know how to make a fire.
Yes.
Men need to know how to clean the fish. Because if you catching fish, you got to know how to clean it.
Right.
That's
yes.
right.
I don't know if y'all know, fish don't come out the water as a fillet. Some of y'all only eat fillets. I'm like, they don't grow like that. There's no fillet of fish floating around in the ocean. Fish don't come filleted. They don't come descaled. They don't come gutted. They don't come with the gills removed. They don't come with the tails cut off. That's not how fish roll. So Yeshua and his disciples, they're catching all this fish. They got to know how to clean it. They got to know how to gut it. They got to know how to prep it in order to put it on. You put fish on hot coal. Could he put it directly on the coal?
No.
So that means he had to have some kind of knowledge how to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And if he put fish, he gonna have some seasoning, right?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
He black, yo. He not doing a little pepper. No. He's making some real fish, some jerk fish, some type of fish that's gonna taste good. Are y'all with me?
Yes.
All right. That's the kind of man that he was. That's what he would do as far as his diet. What's the next one that I gave you?
Matthew 15:11.
15:11.
Huh?
Matthew 15:11.
So remember, I want you to pay attention also in John 21:11 that these disciples caught 153 fish. That's a lot of cleaning.
Mm.
That's a lot of cleaning. But anyway, let's keep moving. And he said, what's he saying right here? Come and dine.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Come and eat.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So he's a gracious host, isn't he?
Right.
Yes.
Hospitality,
Oh, okay.
considerate. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, just checking. Let's go to the next passage, please. Because we're talking about what the Messiah would eat. Go ahead.
Right. Matthew 15:11.
That's the next one.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
Is it Matthew 15:11?
Yes. It was no
15:11, okay. Yes?
15:11.
Yes.
Yes.
It is 15:11.
All right. And Yeshua, see, they say, he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth. All right. And they use that to say you can eat pork. This word here, escokomia, isirkomia, isirkomia, enter, go in. Mhm. Of Satan possession of the body of a person. Of entrance into any condition, state of things, society, employment, arise, come into existence, begin, of men to become before the public, come into life, of thoughts that come into mind. So is it talking about food, or is it talking about your thoughts? Is it talking about your involvement in the society that you're in, where you work? Is it talking about food, y'all?
Oh,
No, sir.
no.
No. It's talking about where you work, your society. Well, just go forth. Let's see what else it says. Into S, into S, or ice, they say S, into, towards. So it's not what comes towards your mouth, towards you, what's coming into your mind. It's not just what you're watching. So you might be watching something on TV, you might be listening to something on the radio. That's that part. But if you take what you're watching and listening to and you regurgitate it back out, that's what he's talking about. Are y'all reading
Okay.
what I'm reading?
Okay.
That's not flesh.
It's 15.
It's talking about that, not what you put in your mouth as pork chop. No. If you watch something on TV, you're watching a movie, all of a sudden a LGBTQ scene come, you're like, oh, come on, man, I was liking this movie. Now they done this. That's going to happen in this world.
Okay.
But now, do you take what you just saw and act upon it and start talking it and promoting it? That's what it's saying. Towards you. Indicating the point reached or entered, a place backward of your mind that causes you to perish. It's very clear. You see? Into the, they use the word stoma, towards the stoma, towards the stoma. Finish the word stoma? Stomach.
Stoma.
Okay.
Stoma. Finish it. Stomach. Add a CH. You'll see it.
Yes.
You see it now? Just put a
Yes.
CH right here.
Yes.
After that A, put a CH. Stomach. And it says it's of the derivative of this base, tomosteros, which implies repeated blows, hacking something, cutting it up. It goes on. Mouth towards your face, towards the as a part of the body. So it's not just talking about your mouth, it's talking about anything that's coming towards your orifices. Since thoughts of a man's soul find what?
Verbal utterance by his
By
mouth.
his. Okay. So it's not talking about, oh, this is an excuse to eat pork chop because I love bacon. I love pork bacon. I like chitlins. I like pork chops. That's not what it's saying. It says these are the thoughts of a man's soul find verbal utterance by his mouth. So if you want to know what's going on inside of a person, listen to what they spend most of their time talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
The heart or soul and the mouth are distinguished. You see?
Yes.
The edge of a sword, because the book of Revelation chapter 1 says the two-edged sword coming out of their mouths to devour the misinformation, the lie, the falsehood. Do y'all see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Please
Yes,
tell
sir.
them, please tell the Paulites, stop misquoting the Messiah. Defileth. So what comes out of your what?
Out of your mouth.
Stoma.
Coming out the mouth.
Stoma. Translated correctly. It's no longer
Stomach.
mouth. Got that?
Yes.
Comes out of your thoughts, your
Mhm.
utterances,
Yeah, the
your
thoughts of a
heart,
man's soul.
your
Mhm.
soul defileth a person. That's what it's saying. Is that any way? Would the Messiah be eating pork based off this verse?
No.
Was he
No.
saying this to say, and I'm saying this so y'all can have the bacon with the pork chops and the ham hocks for holiday? No. What's the next passage, please?
Genesis
Genesis
9,
9:3.
verse 3.
Genesis 9:3. This is after what? After the flood of Noah and their food shortage. And now they're being told every moving thing that liveth shall be meat. Because remember, Noah took 7 of every clean, meaning the
Animal.
animals they could eat, and 2 of every unclean.
Mhm.
Even as the green herb have I given you. So now they're beginning to eat fish and deer and certain, as the book of Leviticus chapter 11 describes, cloven-footed, cheweth the cud, regurgitates and eats it back. But it tells us here, but flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not. Y'all see it?
Does not eat.
Yes.
Not eat.
Blood
Mhm.
thereof shall you not eat.
So let me ask a question.
Okay.
Would the Messiah eat a steak
Mm.
looking like this?
No.
No.
Why not?
Blood coming out.
Still see the blood.
Yahshua followed the law.
I mean, but a little bit of blood, man. That
Blood.
just make it. That let the flavor, because you can't eat it all dry. You gotta have a little. That makes the flavor. You know,
That's what they say.
that's what they say.
Yes, it is.
It give you the flavor. Now this is medium rare. Then they got a thing called rare. Right here. Ooh, look at this deliciousness. With the Messiah. Huh? Would the Messiah eat this one?
No.
Oh, come on. Yes, he would. Because it's not what goes into a man's mouth. It's what comes out of it. I dare any black person to eat that. And I'm just, if you don't got a gag reflex, something wrong.
Mm.
That's raw meat. And the book of Genesis chapter 9, verse 3 just said we don't eat meat with blood in it.
That's right.
You don't got to leave blood in it for it to be soft. There's other ways you can prepare the goat or the chicken or the shrimp or the whatever without this. This right here is a violation of the law. And with the Messiah, did he say he came to change the law or to follow it?
To follow.
it.
All right,
Follow
just
it.
making sure. Just want to be sure. What's the next passage?
Exodus
chapter
12:8.
12:8.
Exodus 12:8. We're talking about what would Jesus do? What would he eat? Now, I said he was meal specific. This, according to Exodus, this is the Passover. And these Israelites were told that they shall eat the flesh of this lamb, roasted lamb. They like a lot of roasted food. And roasted lamb, you see it here? Sheep or goats. Some of them had lamb, some had sheep, and some had goats. Based off of what you had in your house.
Mhm.
But they're having a meal.
Yes, they are.
Yes?
Yes.
And they roast this meal with fire, and they have unleavened bread, and they have bitter herbs. Eat not of it what?
Raw.
Very clear. We're not eating raw. See, here we go again. No raw, no al dente, nor sodden, soaked at all with water, but roasted with.
Fire.
Why are they specific about roasting the meat? To cook it all
To
the way
cook it.
through and
Yes.
kill some of the bacteria. They're
Mhm.
gonna first take it sodden out of water. It's got to soak in water, guys. Then don't let it have that water still on it. You got to have salmonella poisoning or staph. Clean that up, then roast it. You see that?
Okay.
Yes.
And whatever's left over, throw it out, burn it, because you don't want no animals and you don't want bacteria forming. Is that what we're reading here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yes,
Ah.
it is.
What's the next passage? I want us to remember Exodus 12.
Luke 2, verse 41.
I said the Messiah had a specific, Luke chapter 2, verse what?
41.
He had a specific diet. Now his parents went what?
To Jerusalem.
Every year at the feast of?
The Passover.
Passover.
So every year they went to this Passover feast.
Mm-hmm. Ritual.
And when they was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the customs, the ways, the practices of the feast, where we just read back in Exodus chapter 12. So was Yeshua raised every year to observe Passover?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if they say he didn't start his mission till age 29, that means from 1, 2, 3, it's every year, I want to talk about this word every. Everybody means everybody in the room, right?
That's right.
He went there every year from the time he was born. By age 29, how many Passovers had he attended?
29.
29. Did they call him rabbi?
Yes.
Mary Magdalene called him Rabboni.
Yes.
If he was a rabbi, that means he had to have studied the law. He went to school
Mm-hmm.
to study the law.
Yes.
Do y'all understand?
Yes.
Yes.
So he didn't just say, God called me. He had to actually study and know the law. And he knew it so well that when he spoke to the Pharisees, he could say, isn't it written in the law? Doesn't it say, this is why we say to you all nowadays, the student teachers, the student priestesses, the student priests, as well as the kahunat and the men of viziers, we say, when you talk, everything you say, I need a chapter, I need a verse. I need a chapter, I need a verse, because that's the way Christ spoke. If we say we're following the Messiah, Yeshua Kodesh, we got to do it the way he did it. Amen?
Amen.
All right. So here we're reading that every year this man went to Jerusalem to attend this feast. Every year. And this feast, according to Exodus 12, had a certain way they ate the food. And he would have participated in that feast. Is this not so?
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, next passage.
John 2:13.
Let's see when he's on his own, because they said, well, that's when he was with his parents. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yeshua went up to what?
Jerusalem.
So even after he left his mama's house, because scripture says, train up a child. Come on, y'all.
In the way
they should go.
There we go.
Train up a child in the way he should go.
Never depart.
And when he is old,
old, he shall not depart.
Proverbs 22.
Proverbs 22, verse 6. I show you how you can always find it. Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. Was Yeshua trained up to go to the Passover?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now here in John, now that he's older, John chapter 2:13, he does what?
Go to the Passover.
He
He
continued.
goes to the Passover. He observes it. What's the next passage? We're gonna come. I want to come back to this John a little later. Let's continue. What's the next passage?
John 5:1.
John 5:1. I pray y'all
John
writing these
5:1.
down. In John chapter 5, now he's on his own. And there was a
Feast of the Jews.
and
And Yeshua went up to Jerusalem.
so here's another feast. First, we got this feast that's in John 5, and there was one back in John 2. Are they the same Passover? No,
No.
these are two different years. But
Okay.
every year, this man goes to the Passover because this is what he was taught from a baby boy.
Yes.
He didn't say, "Oh, I don't gotta do that no more. 'Cause I'm gonna die for my sins." How does the man who actually dies have to follow it? The man with the power to multiply the fish and bread got to follow it. You and me with no power don't got to follow it. Make it make sense.
Right.
The man who's already a child of the Most High, he's doing the circumcision and he's fasting and he's falling. He's doing all these things, but you and me, we ain't got to do it because he did it for us.
Come on, Russ.
Let me ask you a question. If he did it for us, did he do it for his disciples because they was following it?
Right.
Yes.
No, I'm saying, why did the disciples have to follow it? If he was the only one who's supposed to be doing
He
it,
followed
should have relieved the disciples. Y'all
Oh,
don't got to
no.
go to Jerusalem.
No.
Don't worry about no. The Last Supper was the Passover.
Hmm.
Do y'all understand?
Yes.
What's the next passage, please?
Matthews 21:26.
Is anybody else here besides the few voices that I'm
Yeah.
hearing?
Yes. Pastor.
Matthews 21, verse what?
Sir. 26.
26.
Is that the right one? Matthews 21, 26?
Matthew 17, verse 26 through 30.
There you go. Matthew 17. I'm about to say, no, that's not it. It's all right. It happens.
We weren't there
Matthew's
yet.
chapter
So.
what? Let the people. Matthew's what? 17?
Verse 26 through 30.
All right. It's okay. If we get it wrong, I get it wrong too. I just do y'all like y'all be doing me. Oh, that's not the right one. It's nice when it's the other way around. Everybody, oh, snap. All right. What does it say? Peter saith unto him, of strangers, Yeshua saith unto him, then are the children free. Notwithstanding, no, this is not the right one. Wrong verse.
Matthew 26, verses 17 through 30.
Thank you, Doc. Now
Yes,
the
sir.
first day of the
Feast
of
unleavened bread.
that's the Passover again. The disciples came. So Passover is not one day, because here it says the first day of the feast. Where will you that we prepare for you to eat the Passover? Whose house you coming to for Passover? Where you want us to set up? So he got his disciples making Passover arrangements. Is this a man who's eating pork?
No.
Is this a man eating crab?
No.
I used to eat crab, but can't eat crab, right? Is this a man eating crab?
No.
Huh? He ain't got a ham with a little pineapple on it with a cherry in the middle? What about that pig with the apple in his mouth? He not eating cracklings? No, he's preparing. His disciples are saying, and he said, I don't follow that Passover stuff. That's the old law. I'm here to bring a new law. I'm going to die and all that. You'll be relieved of this. That's what he says, right? No, he says what? Who's
Go
reading?
to the city.
Go into the
And he
city. Go ahead,
said, go
Obi.
into the city. Go ahead.
To such a man,
Mm-hmm.
and say unto him, the master said, my
So
time.
go into a person and tell that person the master saith. So whoever he's going to send them to talk to recognizes him as their teacher also. My time is what?
At hand.
I will keep the Passover.
At thy house with my disciples.
So he said, go to the person I'm sending to tell him Yeshua said, me and my peoples, we coming over there for Passover. Does that sound like a person that's going to violate the scriptures? And the disciples did as Yeshua had told them, appointed them, and they made ready the
Passover.
Huh. 26. So what would Jesus do in this What Laws Did Jesus Follow series when it comes to the food? He was food specific.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't just eat anything in this idea of what goes into the mouth, because now we know it had nothing to do with the mouth. It had to do with the mind.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, what else? Next passage.
That was the last one.
That was the last passage. All right, let's take a commercial break then. We're going to come back and pick up where we left off. Everybody with me? People
Yes.
online, y'all can put something in the chat, because it's quiet, then quiet, then quiet. I know y'all say you're here, but you gotta communicate. Saying here in silent world is nice, but opening up your mic and saying it is even better. I know y'all think I can read minds, but I do that from time to time. It's not a practice I like doing. Because I might start stealing people's PIN numbers for their credit cards. So you really don't want me doing too much of that. All right, just think I just throw that out there. If y'all want me to read your minds, I will. Just let me hold your wallet while I read your mind, and then we can work on a few things. Y'all get mad, but the bank will tell you that the person had your PIN code. So put that out there. All right. All right, we're gonna take a little break. We'll be right back.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world. be nothing, nothing without a woman or a girl. You see, man made the cars to take us over the road. Man made the train to carry the heavy load. Man made the electric light to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water, like Noah made the ark. This is a man's world. But it would be nothing, nothing without a woman or a girl. Man thinks a little about a baby girl, and baby.
When you see something on the Holy Cooking Church International Facebook or Instagram, don't just like it and share it. Like it, comment at least a sentence. This is amazing. I love this day. Thank the Most High. Gotta tune in. Something, a sentence, then share. Like, write a sentence, then share. Write a sentence, then share. Say it with me. Write it, write it, share it. Like it, write it, share it. I'm making a t-shirt. Right? Like it, write it, share it. That's the policy.
Don't you give up, you're one step closer.
We gon' make it. We will. I believe that. We know that. We will. Don't ever let it break. We will. I believe that. Together.
Every year, life seems to be falling apart during this time of year. Right after Christmas, all the depressions start. You're trying to figure out why you feel the way you feel. You feel oppressed, you feel repressed, you feel left out. Breakups are going to start happening. Definitely when you start getting around Valentine's Day. Everything starts looking like, what is going on? You make all these New Year's resolutions. You're going to get your right. You're going to lose your weight. You're going to do this. And then suddenly you realize none of it happens. What was the problem? The mind. How do you affect the mind in a positive, scripturally based way? You need something that's going to teach you and guide you. You need this series of these 3 streams, live streams. They're not DVDs, though the packaging looks like it is, but it's a live stream. You can have it on your phone, you can have it on your wireless device, and be able to play it in your car, be able to listen to it on your lunch break to help you recalibrate your life during this time of year so you can get through. Because without it, well, we all know what happens because we've all been there each year. So make sure you get your copy. I'd make sure I have mine.
Holy Spirit speaking for me, a liaison. What would Jesus do? What would he say? The sun shining on a Sunday. I feel real good. Plus I look good. And I'm showing love, just like Jesus would. What would Jesus do? What would he say? I thank God for my life every single day. I feel real good. Plus I look good. And I'm showing love, just like Jesus would. Now before I go to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep.
We don't hear you, Basash.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, we can.
I said that song, I was looking for the dancers to come out and start twerking. I was like, wait, they're about to earn some money over here.
He said, what would Jesus do?
Listen, I was like, wait, who picked this one? I like this song. Y'all was taking, some people went back. They're like, uh-oh, we about to get paid. I was like, oh, snap. Oh my gosh. Anyway, y'all don't understand the stuff I hear in my head. Okay, for those of you joining us, we're in this new series called What Laws Did Jesus Follow series. This is part 3, Wwjd, What Would Jesus Do? And we just made it really clear. Number one, he would never call himself Jesus. He would call himself Yeshua. He would never call himself Messiah, Christ. He would call himself Mashiach and Kadesh, because he understood a good name is more precious than anything. So he would not let someone defile his name. I don't know how many of you have a mother like my mother, but my mother would make me go to school and say, Amadou, you make them learn to say your name. Don't let them trick you to call you by some nickname that ain't the name I gave you.
Yes.
Be proud of your name. If they mispronounce it, mispronounce the teachers. Teacher call you the wrong way, you correct them, and they don't want to take correction. Every time you say their name, Amadou, say that teacher's name wrong. So if her name is Miss Ryan, call her Miss Ryan. And she'd be like, it's not Ryan, it's Ryan. He said, well, my name is Amadou. If I can get yours, you can get me, because you're a teacher. And she said, I'll stand up for you. So it made me learn the importance of a name. So the Messiah, as we just read, would not make that mistake of letting people call him Jesus. In fact, if Christ came right now and everybody started, oh my God, he's back, and started yelling, Jesus, Jesus, hey, it's me, what would he say?
I never knew you.
He wouldn't even stop, because he wouldn't even know who they're talking to.
It's true, because that's not his name.
That's not his name. If your name was Yeshua and we're like, John, hey, John, he would be like, who the hell is John?
Yeah.
Say nothing. And if they ran up and grabbed him, he would say, and they said, man, it's me, it's us, we've been doing this. He said, what? According to Matthew 7:21-22, I never knew you. That's what he would say. I don't know, I ain't got nothing to do with you. What about the way he prayed? How did Yeshua pray? Huh? Did he go, hello, Father who art in heaven, holy be thy name, thy kingdom come, and thy will be done? And did he pray like that?
No, sir.
No?
No.
You mean the way we see, the way we see happening on TV today?
Nope. Nope, not at all.
Did he lay hands? He put his hand on somebody and said, come on, Jesus, call that devil out of you. Did he do that?
No.
No,
No.
sir.
How did he pray? He didn't come to destroy the laws nor the prophets, right?
Right.
That's right.
No, he didn't.
According to Matthew 5:17, Yeshua did not come to change the laws. Am I
Right.
correct?
Right.
Right.
So he would be praying the way they prayed.
Right.
Correct.
So let's find out how they prayed,
Yes.
and then let's see if he was following that.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, before we look into that, I want to ask you a question. How many years, according to modern Europeanized Christianity, has it been since Jesus was killed?
2000.
About
2000.
2000.
2000 what?
something.
What's this year?
24.
24.
2024 years. Very good. So 2024 years. Now, how much time was between Jesus and Abraham? Huh?
4,000. 4,000. 4,000.
How many years between Jesus and Abraham? Approximately 2,000 years.
Wow.
So about the same amount of time from Abraham to Jesus as from Jesus to you and me, according to them. Am I correct in what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yes.
According to them, yes, sir.
So for Abraham prayed a certain way.
Mhm.
2,000 years later, Yeshua was still praying that same way.
Sure.
That's a person who didn't come to change the law.
That's right.
That's a person who came to what?
Fulfill.
Fulfill.
Fulfill it, obey it, live by it. Let's take a look. Let's write these passages down, please. 1 Kings chapter 18. 1 Kings chapter 18, verses 38 and 39. Do we have it written down?
1 Kings
Yeah.
18, 38 to 39.
Yes, sir.
Numbers chapter 16, verse 4.
Number
Number
16, 4.
16, 4.
Joshua 5:14.
Joshua
That's
5:14.
5:14.
Genesis 17:3.
Genesis 17, 3.
3.
First Chronicles 21:16.
First Chronicles 21, 16.
And Matthews 26:39.
Matthew 26, 39.
Y'all got it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's start with the oldest. The scripture that we the first in that line would be Genesis 17:3, if I'm
Yes.
correct.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
So let's look at Genesis 17:3. This is Abraham. When Abraham was 90 years old and 99-year-old, Adonai, the Lord Adonai, appeared to Abraham and said unto him, I am El Shaddai, the Almighty One, El Shahid, El Shadi. Walk before me and be thou perfect. So Abraham is walking with who?
Almighty
Walking with
God.
God. Yes.
And Enoch walked with,
God.
and Noah walked with.
God.
So Abraham is like Enoch and like Noah. He's a
Yes.
Nazarite.
Yes.
And he's walking with them and he is perfect. Was Noah called perfect in his generation?
Yes.
Yes.
Y'all know what I'm talking. Who don't know what I'm talking about?
Please show us.
Back in the same Bible, Genesis chapter 6, verse 9. Noah was perfect in his.
Generations.
These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his
Generation.
genealogy. So Abraham, like Noah, like Enoch, is walking with God, and Abraham is what in his generation?
Perfect.
Be thou perfect.
Perfect.
He's perfect in his
Generation.
generation. Come on, y'all. And I will make my
Covenant between me and thee.
So because he's walking with the Elohim and he's perfect in his genealogy, that's why they're making a covenant between Abraham, his seed, and the Naturu Elohim. And this covenant is such that it will multiply his genealogy. But then when this happens, Abraham does what?
Fell on his face.
Fell on his face.
And while he's on his face,
God.
And God talked with him.
so when we're not on our face in prayer, when we don't use the ritual of Selah and prostrate, and we follow the Paulites and do all the stuff they be doing and catching spirits and dancing and tambourining, are we talking with Creator?
No.
No, sir.
Are we following the prayer pattern that Christ would have followed?
No.
No, sir.
We're going to see the pattern now. Okay, give me another. That's Genesis 17:3. Next one should be Joshua. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Joshua 5:14.
Joshua 5:14. I'm putting it in the sequence for you, just so when you'll have it. In 13, it says, and it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked. And behold, y'all, what happened?
And there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand.
So Joshua's out there, he looks up, and there's a guy with a sword in his hand. And Joshua's like, oh, sugar. So Joshua went unto him and said unto him, are you for us?
Or for our adversaries.
Who you with? You with us or you with them? And he said, this angel, this man, lo,
Nay.
they put nay,
Okay.
but he said, lo, y'all see it there,
Yes.
huh? Before, not without,
Yeah.
but as captain. So he's like, I ain't for neither one of you or them. I didn't come for you, I didn't come for them. No, I came because I'm the captain. I'm the Sard. See that word, Sard? I'm the prince. I'm the ruler. I'm the chieftain. I'm the leader. I'm the official. He's the leader of this. He is Michael.
Okay.
He is Michael. Of the host. He's the head of the host, Saba. The word army, Saba. Same word. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth, and they use the same word, Saba. And that word means army. Y'all see it?
Yes.
Soldiers.
Yes.
Of the Lord am I now come. And once Joshua heard this, Yehoshua, what'd he do?
Fell on his face.
Nafal Ael Panin, fell on his face to the earth. He prostrated.
Okay.
So Abraham prostrated, and now Joshua is
Yes.
prostrated. What's the next one?
Yes, sir.
Numbers
Numbers what?
16:4.
Number 16:4. Y'all, is anybody else here?
16:4.
Yes, yes.
Now this is
Yes,
Moses,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
huh?
Yes.
This is Moses. And when Moses heard it, he did what?
Fell on his face, prostrated.
So Moses falls on his face. This is ritual specific. This is a certain ritual prayer that Abraham, Moses, Joshua are falling on their face in prayer.
Yes.
Okay. What's the next one?
Other Kings or Chronicles.
Huh?
Other Kings or Chronicles. I'm not sure which one comes before which one.
Pick one. It don't matter.
Kings.
King.
Kings.
Huh?
First King 18.
First Kings what?
18, 38 to 39.
Say it loud, somebody for me, please.
First
First
King
Kings.
18, verse 38.
Thank you. First Kings 18:38, and this again is the series. What laws did Yeshua follow or Jesus follow series? And this is part 3. Wwjd, what would Jesus do about what? So today we wanted to know what he'll do, what he would do as far as what people are miscalling him. What he would do as far as the foods he would eat. He was ritual specific. What laws, what festivals he followed. He didn't follow Bacchus. He didn't do this festival of Dionysius. He wasn't following them. First
right.
Kings 18, what now?
38,
30.
39.
30 or 38?
And 39.
Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the dust and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they did what?
Fell on their
Fell on their
faces.
face.
So all of the Israelites and Ishmaelites and Midianites, they fell on their faces and they said, the Lord, he is God. The Lord, he is God. On Sundays, y'all say, Ane Ray. Finish it. Shil and Ray, the Most High is the Most High. And you know, now y'all see where it comes
Yes,
from.
that's right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, some of you on Sunday mornings, if you're in our Kenesas around the world, we say the Most High Heavenly One is the Most High Heavenly One. The
Mhm.
Lord, he is God. The Lord, he is God. That's the same
Okay.
prayer. But here, they fell on their face and
They said, the Lord, he is.
fell on their face and made prayer. And Elijah's there. So Elijah prays how?
On his face.
So now we got Abraham falling on his face.
Mm-hmm.
We got Moses falling on his face.
Joshua.
We got Joshua falling on his face. We got who?
Yahshua
Elijah.
and Elijah.
Elijah.
Falling on their face. What's the next passage?
First Chronicles
First Chronicles.
21:16.
16.
Verse
21:16.
I missed it. Somebody please help me.
First
First
Chronicles
Chronicles
21:16.
First Chronicles 21:16.
16.
Thank you. First Chronicles 21:16. Y'all got your Bibles out, I hope.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Open those highlights.
And David lifted, come on, who's reading? I need some excitement, y'all. Y'all killing me.
And David lifted up his eyes
Go ahead.
and saw the angel of the Lord stand between the earth and the heaven, having a drawn sword in his hand stretched out over Jerusalem. Then David and the elders of Israel were clothed in sackcloth, fell upon their faces.
You see?
Mm.
So Abraham fell on his face in prayer.
Yes.
Moses fell on his face in prayer.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Joshua fell on his face in prayer.
Of course.
Elijah, the angel, the Tishbite, fell on his face in prayer.
Yes.
King David fell on his
face in prayer.
And somebody bring up Daniel's chapter 8:17.
8:17.
Daniel's chapter 8, verse 17.
Daniel's 8:17.
All right, let's bring it up. Somebody else write down Daniel 6:10.
Daniel 6:10.
So when we go to Daniel's
17.
Let's do 6:10 first. And then Dr. Ford, you'll do the next one. Daniel 6:10. Who's reading? Come on, let's go.
Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed,
he went
into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward
windows
Jerusalem.
of opportunity. I think Sister Zadi Malinki was speaking about these windows of opportunity. So Daniel's is going to make prayer, and he goes, and his windows being opened in his chamber. There's windows that are open in this chamber. These windows of opportunity, these moments, this sacred moment that he goes into this prayer, and this word here for window, kab, and it means a piercing window in the sense of piercing. It's an observatory, it's a skylight.
Okay.
He's looking out, being what? Fatah, El Fatahu, opened in his what? Ilit.
In his chamber.
Elit, Ala, Elit. His room with a roof. He's a skylight. Yes. He has a roof, a dendera. Y'all see it?
Yes.
Yes.
There's a roof there. It's always in the second story room because it has to be able to have the skylight. He's charting the constellations. And it comes from this word here, Allah.
Allah.
Ascend, to look out. All right. And what happens in this chamber?
He kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, and he did aforetime, as he did aforetime.
So he's bowing 3 times a day. He's following the laws of Sila, making 3 times a day. But they're gonna say, well, see, here it doesn't say he fell on his face, it says he kneeled upon his knees. Do we have a portion in the Sila where you drop to your knees?
Yes.
Oh, so he ritual specific. Now let's go, Dr. Ford. Where are you?
I'm Daniel's 8:17.
Daniel's 8:17. For all the people who say, well, Daniel didn't do it. Hold. That's why we gave it to.
So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid and fell upon my face.
Oh. Daniel did what?
Fell upon my face.
So now we have, what would Jesus do? WWJD. What would the Messiah do?
He's going to fall upon his face.
Abraham fell on his face.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Moses fell on his face in prayer.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Joshua fell on his face in prayer.
Yes, he
Right.
did.
Elijah the Tishbite fell on his face in prayer.
Yes, he
King
did.
David fell on his face in prayer.
Yes, he
And
did.
Daniel fell on his face in prayer. What's the next passage?
Matthew 26:39.
Matthew 26:39.
39, yeah.
And he went, this is Yeshua, a little further and did what?
He
Fell on his face and
And did
prayed.
what?
And
And
prayed.
prayed, saying, "Oh my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass by me. Not as I will, but thy will be done." And he cometh unto the disciples and found them what?
Asleep.
Found them asleep.
Asleep. Then he went a second time and prayed. Then he went a third. So Yeshua, what would he do? Would he change the prayer system, or would he be following a prayer system that goes from Abraham to Moses,
Yes.
Joshua,
Mm-hmm.
to Elijah,
Prayer system.
to David,
to
to Daniel?
Mm-hmm.
But then from Yeshua to us, we throw it away.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see the problem in this false misteachings?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Do we see the problem that
Yes,
everybody's talking about what Jesus would do,
But not doing what Jesus would do.
except reading what Yeshua told you he would do? He
Mm.
said,
Right.
"I will say I never knew you."
Yep.
You saying he gonna come and talk about he's saving you and he loved you? He's like, I'm gonna say, I don't know who the hell you are.
That's right.
So we putting words in Jesus' mouth because he's telling us, I'm not gonna know you, and we telling, yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. I don't know you. Yes, you ever have a person tell you you did something or you been somewhere or you're like, no, I didn't. Yes, you did.
Right.
No, I didn't. Yes, you did. You're like, no, I wasn't there. That's how Yeshua gonna feel.
That's
We
right.
healed in your name. I never knew you. Yes, you do. It's you, Jesus. We've been praying to you. I never told you pray to me. Yes, you did. Paul said, who's that? You know Paul, he's a Virgo. Roman. Huh?
Oh, I don't know him.
Virgo.
Do y'all understand?
Yes, Papa.
Yeshua would pray the way all of the great prophets and seers before him prayed.
That's
Amen.
right.
Follow the commandments.
Yes.
Come on.
He was food specific. He used certain seasonings like Luke 11:42. He used certain seasonings and spices and coranders and cinnamons and mustards, and these things are mentioned in the scriptures.
Yes, yes.
Specifically, food specific.
Mm.
Because we didn't just cook, but how you season to make sure always you were killing the bacteria and the parasites.
Mm. Come on.
So he
That's
prayed a
right.
certain way.
See,
What about how Yeshua, WWJD, if Yeshua had to go buy some clothes, what would he do?
it's important.
Not skinny.
No skinny
Would he
jeans.
get the skinny jeans with the knee cut out?
That's a no.
Would he? Huh? Would him and his mama be going out and she having her fur mink with her tight, with her stilettos, you know what I'm saying? All tight jean. Because he,
No.
you know, he'd be a man of the people, so he would adjust, wouldn't he?
No.
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 For the
He wouldn't be walking around. But what would he do if he went to the fashion houses to buy clothes? What would Yeshua do?
Probably walk straight out.
He would make his own.
Make his own. What would these clothes look like?
Robes.
Genesis 3:21. Write it down. Because we want to know what Yeshua would do. This is the What Laws That Jesus Follows series, part 3, WWJD. What would Jesus do? Everybody grabbed the saying for years, but now they don't want to talk about what he would really do. We know he wouldn't talk to Canaanites as far as marrying them.
That's right.
Because he told that Canaanite woman, like, yo, I don't even see you. He just straight ignored her. He told his disciples, them Canaanite Samaritans, don't make deals with them. They're snakes.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Genesis 3:21. Tell me when you got it, please.
Genesis
Got it.
3:20.
Got it.
John 19:23. John chapter 19, verse 23 and 24. John 19, 23, 24.
Got it.
Got it.
24.
Psalms chapter 22, verse 18.
Psalms 22:18.
Psalms 22:18.
Deuteronomy 22:5.
Deuteronomy 22:5.
22:5.
Revelations 1:13.
Revelations 1:13.
1 verse 13.
Isaiah 61:10.
Isaiah 61:10.
10.
Ecclesiastics 9:8.
Ecclesiastes 9:8.
Mark 16.
Mark
verse
16.
5.
Mark 16:5.
And Revelations chapter 7, verse 9 through 17.
Revelation 7:9 through 17.
So what would Yeshua do as it pertains, if you're taking notes, as it pertains to clothing? What's the first passage?
Genesis
Genesis what?
3:21.
Genesis 3 verse 21.
All right. So here we are in Genesis 3:21.
Mm-hmm.
The Adams and the Eve story. Written by Hellenists, but we'll use it for now.
Sure.
They did what when they thought they were naked? It says they felt shame.
All right. They covered
So they did
themselves.
what?
They hide.
Cover themselves.
Cover themselves.
Cover themselves with what?
Apron.
With fig leaves.
Oh, yeah.
Big leaves. Right.
They felt shame when they realized they were naked. They made aprons out of fig leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Want to take a look at what fig leaves look like?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
That's a lot of fig leaves.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Or maybe maybe it depends on which Adam he was, right?
That's
Maybe and which Eve she was, right? If she was like Becky ain't got no butt, so she probably had one fig leaf. But if she was a Nubian woman and a Nubian man, that's a lot of fig leaves. There's a whole look. I don't know about y'all. This is the stuff I be thinking about. Like, how many fig leaves did they sow?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Anybody ever had a fig leaf plant? Fig leaves are not big.
Mm.
They're not big. Unless it's these. Look at this. Look at the size of this fig leaf. Somebody's hand. So they was just sewing fig leaves. Where'd they get the thread from? Where'd they get the needle from?
That's
But we'll
That's
talk about that later because they say there was nobody else on earth and these was just regular people. I thought these was a university and these were students who were groups of them. So they anyway, let's keep reading. That's
right.
discussion.
That's right.
But now they did all this sewing of fig leaves to hide their shame. But the creator or the ancestors or the Naturu Elohim, were they okay with the fig leaf garment?
no.
No, they weren't.
They wasn't okay with the fig leaf clothing?
No.
They didn't think it was a good to go?
No.
They didn't think this was all right here? They had their little belly beads. So Eve had a belly bead on with one fig leaf in the front. And Adam had a belly bead thing on with one erected fig leaf.
No.
It's not good enough. No.
And poor Adam, if he didn't, because they said he didn't know he was naked. Can you imagine the first time? It's his first time having his man's like, what is going on with this body part of mine? But anyway, after all this happens, what does the Creator or the ancestors or the Naturu unto Adam and his wife, the Lord God, made what?
Coats of
skin.
Coats of skin and clothed them. So whatever that fig leaf they was wearing, they were being told it was not enough. And when it says coats, they use the word kathnuth. It's a robe. Not no coat of skin.
No.
It's a robe. And this
Robe.
robe is made out of wool. But it's
Mm.
not meaning that they took a sheepskin jacket. It means they took and spun it like we can wear woolen shirts today.
Okay.
And this happens to be the garb of the priest. When you go to Leviticus, they wore a kathnuth. They wore a robe. The priestly robe of Aaron and his sons was made out of the same material. It's a tunic. It's an undergarment. The brothers will be wearing it. It's this vest that goes under your shirt, or undershirt, we call it, y'all call it a vest, under the shirt. And it has these fringes coming from it. A long shirt-like garment, usually of linen. So God here, or the Elohim here, make Adam and Eve, the groups of them of the African theology and cosmology, robes and garments, not a coat of skin like an actual animal. Are y'all with me?
Yes.
Yes.
The use of skins,
Yes.
or, meaning what? Hide.
Hide
Mm.
Leather.
Okay.
Now you want to see something interesting?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Yes,
When
sir.
Africans of the
Mm.
Zulu tribe wear garbs made from animal hide,
Mm.
they said we were pagans.
Yes, they did.
But here you're looking at this man wearing skins,
Wow.
That's true.
which was a part of their outer garment.
Oh,
That's right.
Just like you have clothes on and wear shirling. You know what a shirling? I don't know if everybody calls it a shirling. Shirling jackets, these made from sheepskin.
Oh, that's nice and warm.
Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yes, we
Yes,
do.
Pastor. Mm-hmm.
yes, we say.
But they had a dress code. What's the next passage, please? Because Yeshua is following in these laws. So we're starting from the law. So this Adam and Eve is dressed right. And they're wearing a long robe, a tunic, a kathnuth. All right, next passage.
John 19:23 to 24.
No, I want Old Testament first. Give me all the Old Testament.
Psalms 22:18.
Yes.
22:18. They part my what?
Garments.
Let's look and see what the word is for garments. Beged. Garment. What's this word here?
Robe.
Robe. Huh? Clothing. Huh? Raiment. Wardrobe. Vestiture. All right. Next passage.
Deuteronomy. 22:5.
Uh-oh. So Yeshua going shopping with his mama and his disciple Mary Magdalene.
Uh-huh.
And Mary Magdalene and his mama Mary, they're looking on the racks and they're seeing clothes, tight pants or pants, or y'all don't call it tight. What y'all say? It's relaxed or fitting. Fitted. And this ain't tight. These pants ain't tight. Look, I can bend. Why do all women do that? Anytime you tell your wife something tight, first thing they do, no, it's not tight. Look. That don't mean it's not tight because you can bend your knees.
Stretch to a bicep.
Would he sit there and allow them to wear tight clothing?
No.
No.
Nobody.
In fact, the commandment in the law that he followed said women shall not wear that which what?
Pertaineth unto a man.
Pertaineth. Kali. Kali. That is the armor, the weapon, the instrument, the jewel, the utensils, the implements, the vessels, the articles, the apparatuses, the utensils. So in this fashion industry, would he have been at Cannes in France at the fashion show? Would he have agreed with the fashions of New York and Chicago and London and LA?
No.
He would not be okay with the new derelict look that people are walking around looking crazy.
Right.
No.
Huh?
No.
2024, I'm going to ask you, this is the fashion clothes for 2024.
Yes, it is.
He'd have been okay with this?
No, it would not.
No.
No?
No.
No, sir.
No, but I mean, that it's not tight. Something like this, if I just put on some, Basesh, can I just put some like capris under this and it's good to go, right?
No. No, Basesh.
What about this? I mean, this, you said Basesh, you said wide leg. Said the sisters can wear white. I did say that. I did say wide leg.
Not that one.
No,
No, sir.
that don't work.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, what about the guys? Is this what about this right here? This a cute little form-fitting, you know, 2-year-old outfit for you, 2-year-old.
No.
No.
I'm not talking about the color. I'm talking about the cut.
That's right. Taylor
Right.
No,
No.
man, come on. Oh, I know y'all gonna like this one. This right here, we go with this one. Praise God. See if they'll bring her back up. What about this right here? No?
No.
Oh, y'all not no fun, man. Okay, what about baggy? These are loose fitting. These are loose fitting. What about these pants? Sisters, we good to go?
No.
And you just said skin of coats. Coats of skin. Is that leopard like the Zulu? This the stuff people come to me. I don't know the stuff they come at me with. Women always ask me. I just got to the point. I don't give a damn what y'all wear. I'm going to Africa and teach some people on that side who want to learn. You can walk around a hula hoop skirt. I'll stand right next to you like I don't even see it. Because if you don't care, I don't care.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I've been teaching since I was 12 years old, 40 years doing this. After 40 years, if you don't care, if you want to walk around with your underwear outside your skirt, I don't care. Put the skirt on and put the underwear, you know how little kids get dressed upside down? Look, right on the head.
Inside out.
I will walk the streets with you and will say nothing. If you have one breast hanging out with the nipple and the other one under the shirt, I will walk right next to you and smile. If somebody walk up and kiss it, I'll look at you and look at them like, what happened? What? Because if you don't care, I don't care. Now, if you come to the Kanisa, I'm going to say, no, you can't. Well, I'll ask the brothers if it's okay. Maybe the brothers might for a moment. But if men want to be crazy, if you want to walk around looking crazy, that's your prerogative. But what would Yeshua do? He would say, a woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. So he was clothing specific. He was this idea. Gender is a construct. Gender is a construct? Yeah, because if you don't teach kids genders, they'll just that says the people that don't have no kids. Because those of us with children, nieces, nephews, grandbabies, they are gender specific. Little boys do some stuff, you be like, yo, what is your malfunction?
Right.
You just will dive off the building? Really? Little girls be like, nah. Instinctively, they look like, no. We good. For all that do so are what?
Abomination.
So if we put women wearing men's clothes,
Abomination.
according to what we just read, is this an abomination?
Abomination.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, did y'all hear what I just said?
Yes, sir.
This is an abomination.
Yes, it is.
These are the women who love menswear. This is an
Abomination.
I didn't say it. Don't be afraid to quote the scripture.
Oh, that's okay.
This is an abomination.
That's right.
Yes, it is.
Yeshua would say this is an
Abomination.
Abomination.
Yeshua would say this is an
Abomination.
Yeshua would say this is an
Abomination.
Yeshua would say this is an
Abomination.
and this
Abomination.
and this
Yes.
and this for women to be dressed like this.
Yes.
What about men wearing women's clothes?
Abomination.
Huh?
It's an abomination.
So Yeshua wouldn't go to the store to buy some new gear, him, John, James, and them, and come out wearing this kind of stuff.
No, sir.
No? He wouldn't
No,
see
sir.
that little cute miniskirt outfit and that
No, sir.
V-neck blouse and be like, oh, this is I don't even it's funny. Huh?
No.
But this is what they're telling us.
Mm-hmm.
This is fashion now.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
These are the men. Huh? These are supposed to be men. Men in the NBA. We call them being dressed suspect. What are they wearing? Who's making them wear this and paying them to do it? Because no black guy who grew up in the hood, Kevin Durant from the hood, no black guy who grew up in the hood wants to come out dressed like this right here.
Right.
That's a no. That is a no.
That is your agent saying the fashion people will pay you $1 million to wear this in because you're an influencer. No black man in his right mind is wearing some of what these guys be wearing. This right here.
Oh no.
No.
Like I said before, the men in the NBA are dressing suspect, and the women of the WNBA are dressing as men.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Dressing. So Yeshua, if he went shopping today, would he be able to really get what he needs?
No.
Nope.
All right, so Deuteronomy very clear.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's continue. Next passage.
Isaiah 61:10.
Isaiah 61:10. So Genesis was clear. Deuteronomy was clear. Isaiah 61:10. I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyful in my God, for he has what?
Clothe me with the garments of salvation.
So there's clothing that represents what?
Salvation.
So there's clothes that you wear. Sometimes your family members will say to you, oh, I like what y'all teach, but why y'all gotta dress a certain way? Why y'all gotta wear a kufa? Why y'all gotta wear a certain color? Why you gotta wear a certain vest? Why you gotta wear this? I don't understand all these rules, because you're not reading the Bible you say you follow.
Come on.
Amen.
So true.
What you mean? You call yourself Christian? What kind of Christian is you that you ain't reading the book that you say you follow and looking at us who's reading the book like something wrong with us?
Amen.
It literally says, has clothed me with the garments of salvation. So there's clothing that you wear when you've been saved.
That's right.
Yeah.
And none of those clothing include your breasts hanging out.
That's right.
Or your legs showing.
Mm-hmm.
Or your butt tied up.
No.
Or men with capris on, or whatever weird stuff they got going on in today's fashion industry.
That's weird.
Garments of salvation. When you see what we wear, we are wearing, all these brothers and sisters are wearing the garment that tells the world we have been saved.
That's right.
Don't ask me, have we been saved? Have you been saved?
Because I should be able to see it.
The garments of salvation. It literally says, has clothed me, labas, bagad, in garments of Yeshua.
Yes.
And that word for salvation is the name Yasha or Yeshua. So they're giving us the garments of who?
Yeshua.
Making sure, because they're going to tell me I made it up when the word's right there. So Yeshua got garments.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, he
And
is.
these garments are the garments that people wear who have been
Liberated.
liberated, who have been
Saved.
and who have been
Delivered.
Deliverance.
and who have received
Victory.
Y'all see, you
Victory.
Paulites out there, you Paulite Christians, you keep using our terminology and making it seem like when I'm teaching members of the Holy Coptic Church of the Black Messiah in the general public, and I'm saying certain things like we're saved, y'all sometimes look at me like, oh, he just saying that. I'm like, no, they stole our thing.
That's right.
Yes.
We saved.
That's
Yes.
right.
Amen.
Yes.
We're
Amen.
saved by Yeshua. Yeshua
Yes.
gives us a dress code.
That's
Come
right.
on, Basesh.
Let's look at it again. I want y'all to look at it because it
Amen.
just said this is the clothing of salvation.
Salvation.
Are y'all reading what I'm reading?
Whoa.
Imani Nia, are you here? Nala Saud, are you here?
Sister
I'm talking people who was church folks. Sister Shan, are any of y'all here? These are my church people. Any church people who went to church your whole life?
Massive. We didn't even know this.
There's a garment of salvation. He has covered me with a what?
Robe.
Robe. So there's garments and there's robes. There's times we wear certain garments,
Yes.
and there's times we put on robes.
Yeah.
Why we be having African and we got garbs and we got robes and we got I'm like, yo, I know what I'm doing. Because it's right here. Now you go, oh, so there are garments of salvation, and then there's robes you wear.
Yes.
And the garments are for salvation. That's what we wear, the vest, the waistcoat, the collarless shirts, sisters with the wide leg, baggy pants, and long dresses or skirts. And then there's robes of righteousness. There's robes of the Melchizedek order called the robes of Sadiq. Melech Sadiq. The robes of justice, the robes of righteousness, the robes of moderates, the robes of righteous acts. Do y'all see what I'm seeing?
Yes.
There's robes of the law. These robes, when you wear it, makes you people who are ethically right, who are righteous, truthful, who are vindicated. These who have washed their robes in the blood of the Lamb, the book of Revelation says, who are those arrayed